What's going on, people? It's your boy Astro, aka Ketchup, and this is this week's episode of ShounenKetchup, your weekly anime news show, coming to you every single week, giving you the best, the most surprising, the most amazing in anime news. If this is your first time here, and you want to hear more every single week about animes, your favorite anime, shonen, anything you could think of, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think of this video at the end. So, without further ado, we got a lot to talk about this week, so let's go. So, believe it or not, Hunter x Hunter. You know, I always make Hunter x Hunter jokes. You know, it's been on hiatus for a little while, Togashi, Dragon Quest, all that fun stuff. However, it is an important milestone for the Hunter x Hunter anime. For those of you who do not know, obviously we had the original version of Hunter x Hunter, the anime at least that came out in the 90s, and then we had the remake in 2011, which was obviously wildly popular, really, really great watch if you haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, and you call yourself a fan of the shonen genre, which, by the way, quick lesson for, you know, people that might not know what that means and why my channel is named that. Predominantly, I feel like a lot of people really like the shonen stuff. Shonen translates in Japanese to like young boy, so it's typically the stuff that's targeted at a young boy. This would be a lot of the fighting, a lot of the adventure type anime, and you know, there's weekly manga or weekly magazines like, you know, Shonen Jump or Shueisha being a big one that highlights all of these shonen, you know, big ones including Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, all the big battle fighter adventure ones that you could think of fall under the category of shonen. So, in case you didn't know that, there's a quick history lesson for you. But Hunter x Hunter, yes, Hunter x Hunter 2011, which again is the second edition of this series, turns a decade old, 10 years old, people, this week. So, you know, it feels like just yesterday I was watching this in high school and it was 2011. Man, they don't joke around when they say time flies. Next story. So, we have a new Prime Minister of Japan. Fumio Kishida recently won the race to become the next Prime Minister of Japan. So congratulations to him. One super cool thing about him is that he is actually a fan of manga. He specifically has read the Demon Slayer series, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and I'm sure there's probably a ton of other stuff, but it's been highly publicized, I guess, that, you know, he read that series, and, you know, manga and anime obviously a lot more ingrained in the Japanese culture, so that's not particularly surprising, but it is cool that, you know, there's a Prime Minister. I know there's a few other world leaders. I think the leader of France, I believe, is a fan of One Piece. The name escapes me right now, but there's a few world leaders that have, you know, given their nod to anime and manga, but it's cool that in Japan we have a prime minister that, you know, is an avid fan of Demon Slayer and, you know, admits that he has read it, so that is super cool. One great thing that comes from that, which is mostly the news for this part, he has made a commitment to make sure that mangaka and animators get better treatment and pay. These people that work hard to bring us the manga and anime that we love are unfortunately sometimes overworked. So now that there's a prime minister that has specifically talked about his laser focus in getting them better treatment and better pay, it's great in my books. I think, you know, people creating such amazing things deserve to have a fair life-work balance and to make some nice money for it. So, great job to you. On the subject of Demon Slayer, I do have some more Demon Slayer news coming up, so stick around. We got 2 more stories coming up. So, our next one, Fire Force. Fire Force. You know, Fire Force was a series that I thought the concept was going to be a little weird. You know, I've seen a lot of things get animated or anime-ified or... God, I'm just making up words. You know what I'm trying to say. I've seen a lot of concepts that you wouldn't naturally think as, for anime, become an anime. For example, firefighting. I didn't particularly think that that would be such a popular concept, being that not only does Fire Force use that concept, but Promare, great movie by the way, saw it at the premiere at Anime Expo. Really cool. There's an earthquake there. Was anyone, I'm just wondering, you know, if a few people see this video, if anyone was at that Anime Expo watching Promare when the earthquake happened, wasn't that just like crazy? Because like, there's a part in the movie, spoilers, where there's a bit of earthquake action going on, and we're all sitting in this room, okay, a lot of us, more or less like, more people than a theater probably, and the ground starts rumbling. I've never experienced an earthquake before. I'm from Toronto, people, but I was in Los Angeles for Anime Expo, as I tend to be every single July. It's a place to be honest. But yeah, if anyone else was there, it'd be interesting. What was your take? Do you remember that happening? It was a pretty interesting weekend, because I think there was a few earthquakes, so yeah, that was definitely my first time experiencing that. But anyways, Fire Force. Again, going back to Nippon. Japan. A kid actually saved a fire, or saved his house and I guess the people around him from a fire, and credited the anime Fire Force for his heroic actions. So shout out to you, sir. Young king, young hero. You saved a lot of people's lives and you acted really fast. So congratulations for learning such a valiant lesson from Fire Force. The last thing I wanted to get into, this is the turn of the anime season. And give me one sec, we got a list. Oh my goodness, is there ever a lot of anime coming back this week. So typically I don't like to break eye contact with the camera. But we're going to do it this time because there's so much amazing and interesting anime for you to check out. So prepare for us to go through this list. I will be posting photos, so you won't see my face for a little bit, I hope you'll get over it. But let's go ahead and go through the anime that will be released this week starting the 2021 fall season. So we got Mushoku Tensei Part 2, which actually released today. This is recorded on Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time, I believe. So by the time you're watching this video, you can watch Mushoku. I wanted to make sure I didn't butcher that, and I think I still did. Mushoku Tensei Part 2. Not something that I have seen, but looks very elfish and wizards, and I don't know if it's an isekai. It is an isekai. It is an isekai, and someone is calling it the best isekai, so I haven't seen it. I'm not a huge fan of isekai, but there you go. We got Part 2 coming out. If you're a fan, you can check that out this week. Next, we got Mirako-chan, which is Mirako-chan. I feel like I was going to say more there. It's actually just called Mirako-chan. I thought it was more. It is basically a series where a girl is being haunted by ghosts, and she's so indifferent to it, she really doesn't even care. And that to me is hilarious. I don't really go for horror most time, I don't really care for it, but it's a hilarious concept that this teenage girl is just so uninterested in all these ghosts that are harassing her. It's a comedy, and I may check out a few episodes, so if you are a fan of horror, God, what is wrong with my pronunciation today? Mirako-chan, check it out. We also got one that I have talked about on ShounenKetchup before, Tat OP Destiny. We're talking Mappa and Madhouse, baby. Mappa and Madhouse. It is going to be amazing. I only vaguely know the plot, but just from the images I see and the art, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. It also aired yesterday, so again, by the time you see this video, you can go ahead and check it out. We also had, speaking of Demon Slayer, I told you we were going to get to some Demon Slayer news. To more or less close this off, we had Demon Slayer coming back this week. I feel like it's been every single week that I gotta give you guys some Demon Slayer news. Again, I'm not even the biggest Demon Slayer fan, but it's what the people want, I suppose. Let's see how it does since, like I said last episode, there's going to be a little bit of recap, but, let me know what you're thinking about the second season. Maybe I'll like the second season more. Who knows? Anyways, that is mostly... Wait, what is that? I have this eerie feeling that I'm forgetting something. I feel like there is some men of culture out there. Men of culture that, enjoyed a particular series with Healer of the name. A particular series with Redo in the name. Oh yeah. If you know that series and you're a little older, and you have come across the series that is Redo Healer, there is actually another anime. It doesn't look to be as spicy, I guess we can say, as Redo Healer, but we are getting another anime premiering this week by the creator of Redo Healer. I believe it is another isekai, and the name is a long one, so I am literally going to have to make sure I do not butcher this again, because that would be embarrassing. It is World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated as an aristocrat. So if Redo Healer wasn't completely up your alley, oh, up the alley, okay, whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't go into what I was thinking there, but yeah. If it wasn't completely up your alley, perhaps this isekai will be. To be honest, it looks a little bit more of my taste. Jokes aside, like Redo Healer, the shock value, I feel like that was a lot of it in my opinion. It could be a really good series, but I didn't watch it other than a few particular scenes. So, yeah, perhaps this will be more of some people's flow. Again, it's another isekai, and not the biggest fan of isekai, but perhaps you are. Anyways, that has been it for this episode of ShounenKetchup. Let me know if you prefer, the old, more formal format or the it's chill, whatever format from me. Let me know, people. Again, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button. Go ahead and hit that like button. We're trying to get this channel to 100 subs. Could you do that for Astro? Anyways, people, I'll see you next week here, your weekly anime news show, ShounenKetchup, every single week. Peace!